In 2019, we've been building mindset and purpose for real estate agents, entrepreneurs, leaders, people becoming more than they were yesterday.
Monday through Friday we rise. We win the morning, we win the mind. Faith over fear, pressure into purpose. Confidence built through the work. Something good is gonna happen to me. Something good is gonna happen to me. I don't need all the answers, I just need belief. Becoming who I'm called to be. Making impact bigger than me. God first, doubt steps back. When it gets heavy, we figure it out. You're not here by accident. You're part of the story. Stepping strong, stepping faith. Let's get your mindset right.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I was on mute. I was on mute. Monica, I'm glad you got the pink shirt. Got that notification that I sent out. Everybody wears pink today. I got mine on. Big day today. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Put Happy Cinco de Mayo in the chat. Put Happy Cinco de Mayo. Jackie, this used to be a very big celebration for me. And I really enjoyed tequila. And Patron was one of my favorite ones. Happy Cinco. Happy Cinco. Chet, what up, brother? Good morning to you. Say good morning in the chat. Hunter, you say good morning in the chat too. I get excited when I see Hunter over there. What up, Paul? Paul's driving. You never know where Paul's going, though. Paul's like, he is like the vacation king. You just never know where he's going, what he's doing. Good morning, Sarah. Coach Sonona is in the house. Good morning to you. What up, Betty? Good morning to you. Stephen Rust. Good morning, man. I look forward to connecting with you. We had a great conversation. Stephen, one of my old middle school students. Never would I expect to have one of my students on our mindset show. Who would have ever thunk that? Good morning, Mr. John Hart. Always a pleasure to see you, brother. Good morning to you. Akeisha, good morning. Sherry, good morning to you all. Steven, what up, brother? All right. Good morning, Fran. Gotta say good morning to Fran. She's my 5 a.m. lady, 5 a.m. And she gets pissed at me all if I don't send her a video. She's like, "Where's my video? Where's my video?" Like, it's like 5:01 and I'm already getting it. I'm already getting it. But we're gonna make it through. What up, Kim? Good morning to you, Kim. Rosario, Mr. Kastner. Always a pleasure to see you. Damon, Dawn, Noah, what up, brother? So, good morning, everybody. Good morning to you all. My name is Coach Brock Zevan. I'm a life coach, business coach, real estate coach. I do real estate and a DAD. And for those of you, this is if you're interested in this, I've been working hard in my expireds. I sent Fran yesterday a text message because she's got a follow-up call. I sent her a text message and she's like, "Was this to me? Meant to be for me?" I said, "That's the follow-up. I need you to like." So I work religiously on text message follow-ups to be creating value. If you want my text message that I sent, okay, and he ghosted me for about a week, and I sent him two text messages throughout the week, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna go in and I'm just gonna send him the mega mad daddy text message that I'm just throwing all my eggs in the basket. And guess what? He texted me back yesterday because of that text. And why I'm really excited is because it's $2.3 million. That's why I'm really excited. And he already told me that the previous agent was paying 3%. And I said, you know what? I can work with that. I can work around that. That'll be a pretty I can do that. So if you're interested in that, put your phone number and put text next to your phone number. So that way I know, and it's much easier if we do it that way. As well, some of you on here should be like, ooh, I've been wanting to get some of these other people's phone numbers so I can call them and have conversations and communicate with them. Because how many times do I tell you all to reach out to the people that are on this show and engage with them, build referrals, build relationships? You might even learn something about each other. So there's phone numbers. And if you want my text message of what I sent and how I built it, I will give it to you. Just like Fran got it yesterday, and she still didn't think it was for her. I was like, Fran, it's for you to use that, copy paste it, and just change the address around. So, anyways, but I'm very excited. So let's see here. Oh, look at you all putting your phone numbers on here. I guess I better make sure that that text message is really good, huh? No, I think it's good. I built a website with it, and it's got a lot of curiosity, and it's very direct too. It's like I want in, like give me a shot, give me an at bat. So, anyways, so as far as the DAD, yes, I am a DAD. I'm a proud dad. My daughter was in a soccer tournament this past weekend. I was just sharing it, my praise report on our prayer call. For those of you, we do our prayer call at 7:30. That she was in a school tournament, 44 teams, and they came in second place. They lost in the championship game 2-1. And I had a dad moment that she won the MVP award for the championship game. And I was very, very proud of her and excited. She was the one that scored the goal. And so it was just really cool. Her name was on the intercom, so it was the first time she had the national anthem played for the championship game. They had starting lineups. She's number 4, so they do it in numeric order. So she was the first person to call. Needless to say, the coach has never practiced the starting lineup, so her name gets called, and she didn't know where to go. She kind of like walked out to the field, and she's like looking around. She's like, "Where do I go, Dad?" I said, Brielle, we got to practice everything from now on. We practice everything. So it was a really cool moment. So, and you know what? Something else that she did, and then I'll get into the show. But see, I'm very competitive in case anybody hasn't figured that out yet. And so I asked Brielle, like there were girls crying, okay? And they coming up there, and I see Brielle coming up, and I was just like, all right, like how's she gonna be? This is like her first championship type of game. And I'm like, act cool, Dad, act cool. Just keep it calm. And so she comes up and she's not crying, she's not anything. She just kind of just walks up. I was like, hey, babe, you did good. And I give her a little pound because, I'm trying not to do too much. A teenager here, so I'm on, thin ice around here. And and she didn't really say anything. We get in the car and I was just like, so how do you feel? You sad? What do you She goes, Dad, I'm just mad. I was like, you're mad? I was excited. I was like, yeah. She's like, we could have done this and I wanted to do this. And I'm just mad, Dad. Whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, I'm just telling y'all, like when I lost, I would get mad. I would just get upset. I'd be like, and I asked her, I said, do you feel like you left some plays out there? I go into coach mode. She goes, yeah, Dad, I did. I felt like I left a couple things there. I could have done this differently. I said, I want you to visualize that because that's what's going to help you next time you go to the next scene and everything else. And so I don't know about you all, but that's just how I am. And when I lose deals, I visualize when I lose a deal. I visualize what took place. How did I make my conversation? What happened? Like I was reviewing this guy and like, why hasn't he texted me back? Like I sent him some great stuff and I thought it was. And you know what he said to me all when he was responding back to my text last night? He goes, thanks for reaching out. Your text's been going into my spam. I was like, oh. He goes, you might want to check your other people you're texting so they don't miss out on this text either. I was like, well, thanks, bud. I really appreciate that. I was just like, so when do you want to meet? Like, when do you want to talk? But you never know. But you got to keep showing up. And that's kind of the message today is with adversity and overcoming adversity. We talked about in the prayer. How many of you, put a 5 in the chat, put a 5 in the chat. How many of you have been through adversity, are going through adversity now, or maybe you know somebody with maybe you've never had adversity. Put a five in the chat. I know it sounds silly, chat. I know you're like, duh, Brock. Everybody has it. Put a five in the chat if you, because I just want to make sure that I'm like right, D. Right? Let's see. Did Kim do it? Jesse, Wendy, John Hart probably never has adversity. That guy is freaking solid like a rock. He is just a foundation over there. Who else has it? Okay, there. I don't know how John does those special fives. Tim's got a five, right? So we've all had adversity happen in some capacity, in some way today. So I'm going to give you five bullet points today, and I'll give you three questions at the end of this thing to be able to share with you. And then I'm going to give you a link because Michael Burke's got me doing some AI stuff, and Chet's doing a class too. So Chet and Michael Burke, you guys can put your classes in there to help other agents that are doing AI stuff that you guys are doing. So we'll make sure we get those in the chat because I want to make sure everybody's got opportunities to learn and grow. So before we do it, though, you all know it. We all know what time it is. Pull yourselves off of mute. Pull yourselves off of mute. Pull yourselves off of mute. I don't care what's going on, unless you got some kids cursing at you or anything else like that. But everybody come off of mute. Everybody come off of mute. And we're going to say this together right here. We're going to say it together on the count of three. On the count of three. One, see, Fred was looking for it. I got it, Fred. Fred, God bless Fred. Fred's in the freaking hospital. So quick little shout out prayer to Fred in the hospital right now. Fred, this is dedicated to you, man. In the hospital, showing up, going through some MRIs today. So this one's to Fred. So I'll say it together with really feeling it for Fred on the count of three. One, two, and three.
Something
Something
good
good
is
is
going to
going
happen
to
to
happen
me.
to
Something
me.
good
Something
is
Something
good
going
is
good
to
is
going
happen
going
to
to
happen
happen
through
through
me.
me and through me.
Amen. I love it. I love it. Now, for those of you who just turn into somebody different and go crazy, make sure you go back to mute now because we don't need to hear some of your crazy stuff you all talk about. Okay, some of the stuff I hear is pretty funny. Jay's my VA, and she's amazing. They're all amazing, Rika and all of them. And she was yelling at her cat the other day, and she didn't know she was on mute. And I was just like, and obviously they speak a different language, and she was just going after this cat. I was like, I don't know what's happening to that cat, but boy, oh boy, I feel bad for that cat. Right? She's laughing because, and Rika, who's on there, she was laughing too because I don't know what they were saying, but I was just like, that cat's in trouble. I know that. So, but anyways, so let's get into today's story. All right, Jesse, let's get into today's story because here's the thing. How many of you remember this movie? Put me in the chat if you remember the movie Days of Thunder. Days of Thunder, right? Paul's probably Days of Thunder right now. He's driving right now, NASCAR, he's just all over the place. But there's a part of the movie that you remember that there's an accident that takes place, right? And in the accident, what happens is I'm gonna relate it to life at the same token, I'm gonna put the visualization inside of your head. So in the movie, there's a huge smoke. In NASCAR, and we're in a NASCAR country here in Mooresville, North Carolina. Like we're big NASCAR over here. And my brother-in-law works literally with Joey Logano. Like I'm not big into NASCAR, so it's kind of funny. Like Joey Logano is like at my brother-in-law and sister's house, and we're having Christmas. And I was like, "How you doing, man? You make like $22 million every year, but how you doing?" Like I strive to do that my entire life, and here you are doing it in like a month. But just normal, humble people. But they talk about the crash. They talk about what happens when you're going 150 miles an hour. How many of you feel, put a three in the chat, that you're feeling your life is just going real fast and things are moving and this AI stuff is crazy and I'm trying to catch up and my kids are going here and my money seems to be coming out of my bank account faster than it goes in. I got more challenges, more issues, and just life just seems to be speeding up faster and faster and faster, and there's just so many things that are taking place. My internet's not faster, I'm not streaming faster, my car's not faster. Like it just seems like we're just racing. And sometimes these NASCAR drivers, they're racing too, and they're going 150 miles an hour around this track. And all of a sudden, they see smoke and they see this, they all they can see is they can prepare to going into the storm. How many of you right now, you sometimes are being prepared? You're like, damn, this is not going to be good. I just took a look at my pipeline and don't have another deal coming through. I don't know when my next paycheck's going to be. I just know when my next mortgage is happening, when my next car loan is taking place, when my next child support is taking place, when I got this going on, when I got braces happening. I know when those are coming, but I don't know when my income's coming in. And we can see the storm and we're going around the bend. And as we approach it, we can't see a damn thing because the smoke is so bad. And in days of thunder, that's what happens. And the first time he goes through that, he gets in an accident and his car gets wrecked and he gets demolished. And guess what? He ends up being in the hospital and life just completely goes sideways. And that's why I said to Fred this morning, God bless you, man, for being here, because your life went sideways yesterday when you had tingling down your hand and you had these migraine and all of a sudden you're feeling dizzy. Guys, you don't know how much longer you have. You are not guaranteed tomorrow, and some of us take it for granted. Appreciate your health every single day. I thank God for my health, for being able to do what I do. And in that movie, he gets all these things take place to him. And his life gets sideways and he's in a wheelchair and he's crippled and just the whole world just seems to be going sideways. And it might not be for you, but something could be happening, a death in the family. You lose a deal. Something you thought was going to take place vanishes. The deal falls apart in some capacity. The mortgage doesn't go through. The buyer falls apart. I thought this was going to be easier. I'm speaking to somebody right now. I know it. Well, during the movie, he has to overcome this adversity. He has to overcome all these problems and these challenges and these health. And he gets back up. And one of the things I'm going to be talking about is your bounce back. But he gets behind the wheel and he has to race again because he wants to face that fear. He wants to face that problem, that challenge. And that's what happens in life. And so he gets back in the car, and guess what happens? There's another wreck. See, I love the line, don't wish life to be easier. Wish to be stronger. Because life is going to hit you in the mouth. And just when you think you got life figured out, it's going to hit you in the mouth again. And it's going to hit you in the mouth again. And it's going to hit you in the mouth again. And guess what? That's just called life. And you can bitch about it. You can whine about it. You can complain about it. Or you can become stronger. So don't wish for life to be easier. Wish to become stronger. And so as they get into this, they go back into the race, he starts to see another accident and he sees the same smoke. He sees the same thing. And many times in life, for those of you taking notes, many of us are trying to drive forward, looking in our rearview mirror. And at that very moment, when he's going around, was it Cold Trickle? I think was his name, Cold Trickle. And he goes around and he starts having flashbacks. He uses previous experiences to prepare himself for the storm. And many of you are doing that sometimes. But there's a reason why the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror, all. Is because the rearview mirror is just made for you to reflect, to learn from a previous experience, and then to be able to look at the windshield that's so much bigger. That's so much brighter, so much better. There's more opportunities through this windshield. And any more freaking cars, they like the windshield wipers will go on their own. And the defrost will automatically go on their own. And these windshield wipers do all these, and these windshields do all these amazing things anymore to help us what? Go forward and to see forward. And so as when he's leaning in and he's going through it, they tell him what? Floor it and just keep going. And I say that to you today, to floor it and just keep going. Because you slow down, you stop. Because on the other side of it, just like it was in the movie, he made it through. Because the breakthrough is never on the front side of the storm, on the front side of the smoke. It's on the other side of it. But you have to go through it in order to get to that position, in order to be there. It's just part of the process. So here's my 5 bullet points I have for you. Number 1, adversity reveals what you really believe. Adversity reveals what you really believe in. It is in that moment that you have to understand that you believe you will be better on the other side. You believe that you will be okay on the other side, but you have to believe in yourself. I can't believe in Stephen or David or Jackie or anything else. You have to personally believe in yourself. I always tell people my expectations of you should never be bigger than yours. You should have abundance in expectations. If you don't, pray for it. Ask God to give you abundance and expectations that you will do crazy things, amazing things. Number 2, fear gets louder when you run from it. Fear gets louder when you run from it. I have a saying that you're going to be running in life. We already talked about how fast life goes. And I always say that you're going to be running towards something or away from something. It's up to you to decide which direction. And I always learn I ran away from so much freaking stuff all that I knew at some point. How many of you have heard this line? I had to face the music. I had to face it. I had to deal with it. I had to deal with the noise. I had to deal with the language, the volumes, what I did. I was a bad person for many years. I shouldn't say bad. I just made really poor choices all. And I had to deal with that noise for many, many years. Many years. I still love my ex-wife. I love her. I really do. But we are at this soccer game and we're sitting there and she wants to give a little jab at me. She'll say something about like Brielle because Brielle's 13 and I was drinking when Brielle was born. And she'll say something like, yeah, do you even remember that? You probably were hammered. And I was like, well, that's a nice little comment that you have to say 13 years later. But you know what? I can handle it. I still have to deal with that noise. It doesn't mean that it's removed from her. It might be removed from me, but she handles things differently. And that's perfectly fine. Or I could have let that ruin the entire situation. You know what? F you and this. Like, no. There's going to be things all that will happen to you, and you have to face it. Number 3, you cannot overcome what you refuse to face. You cannot overcome what you refuse to face. It's just part of life. It's not like my past is not going to disappear. It's always going to be there. But what I can change, Tim, is my future. What I can change are the decisions today, Lakeisha, on what I do today. I can make a decision at 8:46 on what I'm going to do. I'm either going to shut my computer down, I'm going to dive into my day, or I'm going to bitch, whine, and complain. For those of you that may be on the West Coast, Sarah, I'm watching you. Don't go back to bed. Go to the gym. Do what you're supposed to do. Go make those hard phone calls. Write this down. Do your hard right away. Do your hard right away. Because it doesn't get any easier. How many times people used to tell me, I'm going to go to the gym this evening. That's what I'm going to do, Brock. I'm not a morning person. I'm going to go to the gym in the evening. And then I'll talk to them in the evening. I'm like, hey, how was the gym? Oh, you won't believe what happened. Yeah, I know what happened. You didn't freaking do it because other things took place. Face it right away. Number 4, every trial carries a lesson, a value, and a blessing. One of my favorite lines is there's always a lesson before the blessing. Always. God doesn't give you blessings right away. There's always a lesson before it. You need to be broken before the blessing. There need to be a test before the testimonial. All these things need to take place before you can get to the promise. The process before the promise. All these different lines. So when things take place, and sometimes all they're going to take place and it's going to be a lot longer than you want it to be. I always say poor is a mindset, broke is a season. And when I'm in that broke season all, it seems like it's like years. But it's also not going to be a day or two. It typically is months. It's months of heartache. It's months of trying to figure out money and where your next paycheck's coming in and how you're going to balance and what you're going to pay next and using your credit card, living off your credit card. I get it. Been there, done that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think, to be honest with you, everybody should go through it. It sucks as every living you can imagine. But at the same token, it's important because you're going to help somebody else out. And there's different seasons. My broke 10 years ago is different than my broke 2 years ago because I was a different person. I'm a different thought process. I was blaming it on different things during different seasons. And number 5, this one's my favorite. Your bounce back defines you more than your success. Your bounce back defines more of you than your success. And it's kind of like the line where they say that the person you're becoming, your character, your integrity. Michael Jordan says, people remember the shots I made, not all the ones I didn't make. But it was in those moments of the shots that I didn't make that I learned. It's in the losing that I learned these things, these opportunities, rejection, doubt, disappointment. Do you know how many times, now I sound like my dad. You know how many times I've been told no? Warren, I put a post on there. Myron Golden talks about 10 no's. Go watch the video. I put it on my Brock Zevan's mindset page. Myron Golden, when he was growing and doing what his business was, his goal every day was to get to 10 no's. That was his goal, to get to 10 no's. Once he got to 10 no's, then he moved on to something else. Because those 10 no's would eventually get him into a what? A yes. It will get you to a yes at some point. But you got to get through the no's. You got to go through the heartache. You got to go through the pain. You got to go through the challenges. And many times I was told no, many, many, many times. Trying to buy a house. I was broke as a joke, a 575 credit score. They looked at me and laughed. They're like, do you have any other credit scores? I don't. But I learned about credit. Then I got with Rosario. Then Rosario helped me build my credit. Going from a 560 some credit score to a 725. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, it takes beat downs, it takes learning how credit works, when you have to pay stuff. It's actually annoying as hell. But I'm not going to change it. I just got to learn and adapt to the process. Who am I? I have to learn. Here are your 3 questions, all. Here are your 3 questions. Put a 5 in the chat. So far, so good. You got 1 minute. You got 1 minute left to deal with me. Put a 5 in the chat if you're good. You put a 5 in the chat if you're picking up what I'm putting down. All right, here it is. Number 1, what smoke cloud are you facing right now that you need to stop running from? What smoke cloud are you facing right now that you need to stop running from? If you really are being purposeful, I'm going to challenge you as soon as this call ends, these next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, to answer these questions. Answer these questions to yourself. Number 2, where have you been giving fear too much control over your decisions? Where have you been giving fear too much control over your decisions? Maybe it's a conversation you've been needing to have with somebody. Maybe somebody on here has been trying to figure out whether you should get involved in coaching. Maybe you should make a transition on your team. Maybe you should do a different career. I don't know. And number 3, what would change this week if you stopped asking Why is this happening to me instead of for me? Why is this happening to me instead of for me? Many times in life, I will end that things don't happen to you, they happen for you. When I finally changed that whole perspective, that mindset, I embrace things that happen for me. They're for an intention to help somebody else out in some capacity, in some way. My divorce, my car's repossessed, foreclosures, addiction, DSS battles, IRS battles, freaking 5 years of a debacle. I literally was just helping somebody yesterday on a divorce that they're going through. A DWI. Luckily, I got off on that one, but been through it. All this stuff to help people. Who can you help today? Bonus question. Who can you help today? Now, I gave you all phone numbers on here. So, Jay, keep this chat open. So, for my wild and crazy people that are really going to be purposeful on here, I want you to go find people's phone numbers. I want you to reach out to somebody today. I want you to answer these questions today. I'll repeat number 5. Your bounce back defines you more than your success. Your bounce back defines you more than your success. And we'll put this all on the Facebook. I'll put all my notes in there. And what smoke are you facing right now that you need to stop running from? Guys, for those of you, I appreciate y'all. If you got something out of today, drop a 10 in the chat. Drop a 10 in the chat if you got something out of today in some capacity, in some way. If I can help you in some way, whether it's coaching, whether it's mentor, whether it's, I don't know, whatever it might be. Maybe you want to be part of my group coaching. Maybe you need one-on-one coaching. Maybe you just need somebody, an open ear, whatever it is. I want to be able to help you. You got phone numbers on here. Go reach out to people in some capacity, in some conversation. Here is, for those of you, I just put it in the link. That is the ChatGPT Mastermind we're doing today at 2 o'clock. You could come join me. The link is in the chat. We're going to talk about AI. We're going to talk about ChatGPT. We're going to talk about the basics. It's the basics foundations that maybe some people don't know about or what we're doing. So that is going to be in there with Michael Burke on that. So come join us later this afternoon at 2 o'clock. I appreciate you all. God bless you. Tomorrow, Mr. Chris Reshitar is going to be leading us. It's the first Wednesday of the month. I appreciate you all. God bless you. Thank you so much. Go do your 10 minutes, all. Go do your 10 minutes, and I'll talk to you all later. Till then, see ya.